What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Cadillac Escalade Premium Luxury. Huge thank you to Mike.Dwyer over here at More Cadillac of Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Escalade or any Cadillac product at or below MSRP, then I'll be sure to have Mike and More Cadillac's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is a beautiful yet hot day outside here today, but personally for me, I prefer the heat to the cold, so I'll take this hot weather all day long. But just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Cadillac Escalade Premium Luxury, and this particular one has been painted in the $1,225 crystal white tri-coat. I wanted to preface this video by saying there have been no changes made to the Escalade for the 2024 model year. So with that in mind, as standard with the Premium Luxury, you get LED headlights with auto leveling and IntelliBeam, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. This is what the front end of the Premium Luxury looks like, and you get a mix of gloss black and satin chrome for your grille. Obviously, you have your Cadillac logo located at the center of the grille, and then you also get satin chrome grille surrounds both at the top and the bottom of the grille. Just beneath your Cadillac logo, you will find a forward-facing camera, and that is because the Premium Luxury comes standard with a 360-degree view camera system. Also, as standard, you get 6 forward-facing sensors, and then if you come down a little bit back to the stylistic traits of the Premium Luxury, you get this gloss black piece that connects your daytime running lights together. You also get a gloss black lower grille and 8 inches of ground clearance. Now, comparing the Sport to the Premium Luxury, the Sport gives you the gloss black mesh style grille, which I prefer to the Premium Luxury, but I can understand why some of you prefer the look of the Premium Luxury better with the satin chrome bits, because it still looks very, very good. I personally just prefer the Sport, but that is just, you know, comes down to personal preference. But here is a front 3/4 shot of this thing. I wanted to mention that you do get the premium smooth ride suspension here with the Premium Luxury as standard. If you wanted the air ride / magnetic ride control suspension, that is going to cost you roughly $5,200 because it does require a few packages in order to get that suspension system. But even without the air ride and the magnetic ride control, this thing still drives very, very nicely. But if you want to take it up a notch, you might want to spend $5,200 bucks. But these are the standard and only wheels you can get with the Premium Luxury, and they are 22-inch 14-spoke polished finish wheels, and these wheels are wrapped in 275/50 Bridgestone Alenza all-season 02 tires. I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick as best that I can. That is the tread pattern on those tires, and I'm also going to mention that as standard you get rain sensing wipers. Also as standard, you get body color mirror caps with integrated turn signals, and these side view mirrors are heated, power folding. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming. You also get 2 memory functions, so not only is the vehicle going to memorize your driver's seat settings, your steering wheel settings, it is also going to memorize the outer side view mirror settings as well, which is nice if you have more than one person driving this vehicle at a time. And then also I wanted to mention that you will find your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror. Last but not least, you get a camera at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors. Again, those cameras work with your 360-degree view camera system that you get as standard. And last but not least, you also get a puddle light, which is going to illuminate this area at night. Now, taking a step back, here is a side profile shot of the Premium Luxury, and you may be able to tell that just above where the driver sits, you have the body color shark fin antenna. You also get the satin chrome roof rails here with the Premium Luxury. If you wanted the roof rails, the window trim, etc. to be gloss black, take a look at the Sport. But as mentioned, you also get the satin chrome window trim. You get the body color door handles with the satin chrome accenting on the top of your door handles. And these door handles also include keyless access and illumination, so that strip right there will illuminate at night. You know, just a nice little Easter egg when you walk up to your $100,000 SUV at night. And then coming down just a little bit more, you get these satin chrome body side moldings. And one thing that I always complain about is that with the Escalade, you get the black assist steps as standard. However, here with the Premium Luxury, it's about $7,000 $1,000 if you want the factory power running boards with the perimeter lighting, whereas if you got the Sport Platinum, it's about a $1,200 option. So personally for me, if you're, you know, getting a $100,000 vehicle, I think you should get the power assist steps as standard. That's always my complaint, and that will always be my complaint until Cadillac gives us the running boards as power running boards as standard. You also get the Cadillac crests on both of your C-pillars here. What was that? Sounded like somebody sneezed over there. And then also on the driver's side, you get your capless filler neck, and premium fuel is recommended. Recommended doesn't mean required, so you can put 87 in this, but run that at your own risk. Closing that back up, here is a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. I wanted to point out that you get the body color roof spoiler up top here with your integrated third brake light, and your wiper also hides up underneath there as well. You also get a rear window defroster with this thing. LED taillights also come standard. And then back to the glass, this upper glass piece opens, so if you reach your hand underneath here and you press on this pad, this upper glass piece will open up. So let's say you make a Home Depot run, a Lowe's run, and you have to pick up like a 2x6x10. Let's say, you know, you can't fit that 10-foot board back here. Well, you could open this thing up and you can fit that 2x6x10. But closing that back up, you also get this satin chrome trim piece right here. You also get your Cadillac logo, and along with the satin chrome theme, you get the satin chrome badging back here as well. But just underneath your Cadillac logo, you have these two cameras right here. So the camera on the left is your backup camera. The camera on the right is your rear view camera mirror, or your digital rear view mirror camera. I'll show you what that looks like on screen right now from the interior's perspective. But moving on from there, your Cadillac logo also doubles as the button to open up your liftgate. As standard with the Premium Luxury, you get a hands-free power liftgate, and that is the speed in which the power liftgate opens. Now, you may be able to tell you get a subwoofer back here, and this comes standard with the 19-speaker AKG sound system. The Sport Platinum that I have a video with on my channel comes standard with a 36-speaker AKG sound system. Personally, I think they both sound fantastic, but that all comes down to personal preference again. But back here, you get a household power outlet. Clicking on these two buttons here are going to drop your second row seats, and then you can raise and lower the third row seats with these two buttons right here. So this is for the left side, this is for the right side, and that's kind of about it. So let's say you put the third row seats down, you get quite a bit of extra storage space back here. I would say probably an additional about 3 feet. And then if you open this thing up, you also get a little bit of storage space. You could set some gloves, maybe some jumper cables, stuff like that. Small items, but they will fit back here. And that's kind of about it for the trunk area. So if you click on this button over here, that is going to close the power lift gate, and we're going to finish things off here at the back end. So again, just like the front, back here you also get 6 rear view sensors. You get a dual exhaust system. You get a gloss black rear valance with some satin chrome accenting. This is the rear valance. This is what the satin chrome accenting looks like. And then one thing that I'm kind of like, why, is that this also comes standard with a single speed transfer case. I think if you're spending $100,000, you should get the 2-speed transfer case as standard. Also as standard, you get a mechanical limited slip differential, a 323 axle ratio, and the max tow capacity as spec'd is 7,500 pounds. If you wanted the 2-speed transfer case, you would have to look into getting the heavy duty trailering package. That is what gives you the 2-speed transfer case, but that is a relatively expensive option. But I think if you're spending $100,000 on an SUV, $5,000 really isn't all that much. But really, that's kind of about it for the exterior of the Premium Luxury. I am a huge fan of the design language here with these new Cadillacs, especially the Escalades, especially the Sport Platinum Escalade. That is my favorite Escalade. Actually, no, my favorite Escalade obviously would be the Escalade V, but this thing still looks fantastic. I love the design language. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the standard 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 that makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 6 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 14 miles per gallon in the city, 18 miles per gallon on the highway for 16 miles per gallon combined with 4-wheel drive. I did want to mention that let's say you wanted the Escalade, but you're like, man, that fuel economy is not very good. good. Well, for an additional $100, you could get the optional 3-liter Duramax. You're gonna see much better fuel economy, about 6 miles per gallon better in the city and about 8 miles per gallon better on the highway. So you're looking at about maybe 20 miles per gallon in the city and about 26 miles per gallon on the highway with the little Duramax diesel. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things help me grow my channel and I would greatly appreciate it. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier in the video, you get keyless access as standard. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also lock it if you run your finger across that Cadillac crest right there, and now it is locked. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with some satin chrome accenting on it. And then going over the functions on it, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your remote start function, your power liftgate function. This is going to pop open your upper glass on the liftgate. And then you also have your panic function. If you wanted to remote start this vehicle, all you have to do is press this button twice and she'll fire right up. And that is what the 6.2 sounds like being fired up from the exterior's perspective. But now let's see what the interior of this particular premium luxury has to offer. So I'm gonna pop in here, I'm gonna turn the radio all the way down and turn the ventilated seat off, because otherwise it's gonna be pretty darn loud. Now, this one's been spec'd with the jet black Mulan leather upholstery. It looks absolutely fantastic, but we are gonna start here on our driver door panel. So you do get a leather wrapped armrest right there, and it is also nicely padded. You also get some wood grain trim, some satin chrome trim. As standard with this thing, you get heated and ventilated front seats. Both get 3 levels of adjustability. One thing though that's interesting about the heated seats is you can either heat your back and your butt, or you can heat your back only. Then you have your unlock and your lock functions. Here are your power side view mirror controls. Pressing on this button is going to power fold in or out your side view mirrors. This is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. You get 2 memory seat adjustment settings, storage space, spot you can set a water bottle, and then you get a speaker down here. And as mentioned when we were at the rear of the vehicle, as standard with this thing, you get the 19 speaker AKG sound system, which includes speakers in your headrests. Love the way that these seats look, especially with that white accent colored piping and stitching. Looks phenomenal. And also as standard, you get 12-way power front seats with 4-way power lumbar. Also, you get the Escalade brushed aluminum door sill. Doesn't pick up all that well on camera, but I am going to step into the interior and take a listen to what it sounds like when you close the door. Soft closed doors come with the package on screen right now. And now what I'm going to do is basically, go throughout the entire interior, starting with this screen up top here. So as standard, you get a 7.2-inch OLED display. This is your control panel. And then moving into here, you get a 14.2-inch digital gauge cluster. I'll get into that in a second, but we are going to start with our control panel. So right now we are in this screen here. It's showing me my trip 1 information, my trip 2 information, or you have a calm screen. If you select this thing right here, this is what the gauge cluster looks like. If you select AR camera, that is your augmented reality. It's basically going to display a camera of what you see in front of you. And then you also have the map button. The map button is going to take a couple seconds to pop up. So I am going to go into, actually maybe it won't. Those. Anyways, that is what the map looks like on the screen. So that is what the map's display looks like. And then you also have a head-up display, and if you click HUD head-up display, it's going to bring you into your head-up display control. So basically the 2 things you can control on the screen are the height, so you can bring it up, you can bring it down, and then you can also adjust the brightness on the head-up display, and the head-up display is located right there. I'll get more into that here in a second. But personally for me, I kind of like the gauge theme at the center. So anyways, that's just personal preference. Then you get some wood grain trim, an HVAC vent, and beneath the HVAC vent, this is going to put you into 4-wheel drive automatic. This is going to put you into 2-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive high, no 4-wheel drive low. Again, this has a single speed transfer case unless you get the heavy duty trailering package. Then this is to put you into your off-road mode. They call it terrain mode. You do have to be in four-wheel drive high in order to go into terrain mode. And all the way to the right, you have your drive mode selector. So you have a few different drive modes. You got your tour mode, sport mode, off-road mode, tow haul mode, and my mode, which is configurable. So you can see what you see in between your different drive modes on the infotainment system. It basically tells you what each drive mode does. And then down here, that is going to engage or disengage your parking brake. This is going to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. And as standard with this thing, you get a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So you can bring the steering wheel towards you, you can push the steering wheel away from you, and you can also bring it up and down. I went down and up, but you get the idea of what I'm talking about. And then the power steering column also is included with your 2 memory seat adjustment settings. But now, let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like on the Escalade, and not only is this your turn signal control stock, this is also your headlight control stock and your high beam control stock. So right now the headlights are in the automatic position. Flipping up one, that is daytime running lights on. All the way up is headlights in the always on position. I like to leave it in automatic personally. And then the button on the end of this stock right here is going to turn your IntelliBeam on or off. IntelliBeam is your automatic high beams. Now, zooming back out, this is what the Escalade steering wheel looks like. It is leather wrapped. As standard with this thing, you get Super Cruise, which is a hands-free driving system on select highways. So this is for your Super Cruise system, and so is that right there. It's going to read your eyes, and this can basically let you know if the Super Cruise is ready. But you also get steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, downshift on the left, upshift on the right, and they are plastic. Also, as standard, you get a heated steering wheel. So if you click that button right there, that is going to turn the heated steering wheel on or off. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like on the Escalade. Now, walking you throughout the controls, starting with the left-hand side. With this thing, not only do you get Super Cruise, but you also get adaptive cruise control. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings, all of these things here. This is for your heated steering wheel. Coming down to here, this is basically for your conversation enhancement. So basically, you know, if you're driving down the road at 100 miles an hour, let's just say, obviously you wouldn't be doing that, wink, wink. But if you do, and you click that right there, conversation enhancement is basically going to, you know, amplify your voice throughout the speakers so the third row passengers can hear you better and vice versa. So that is what conversation enhancement, that's what that ear is for right there. And then that is to speak to the vehicle. Basically, you can tell the vehicle to turn the HVAC system to 68 degrees, or you can be fan speed 4, whatever. That is what this button does right here. And then coming to the right hand side of the steering wheel, here are your tuning controls to go forwards and or backwards on the track. These controls here are for your digital gauge cluster, which I'll get into in a second. And then you have your volume controls here. So that's volume up, volume down, and that is going to mute the audio system. And then you have your windshield wiper control stock. Rain sensing wipers come as standard. But again, if you click this button right here, the audio button, it's going to bring you into your audio sources here on the digital gauge clusters. If you go into your favorites, this is going to switch you between your different preset radio stations. So right now we basically got Fox News, The Highway, Classic Vinyl, and 2 Hits 1. I didn't select any of those, by the way. And then you also have your different audio sources. You can go into FM, AM, XM. If you go into XM and you just basically scroll, it's going to switch you between all of your different XMs, you know, from 0 all the way up to whatever XM goes up to. But basically you can select which channel you want to be on the fly, which is pretty cool. And then also if you click this right here, that's going to pop up your phone stuff here on the digital gauge cluster. Now, moving into the digital gauge cluster, again, this is a 14.2 inch digital gauge cluster, and this is what it looks like. So obviously you have your digital speedometer readout at the center. This is your analog speedometer. You got the current time, the current date, the ambient exterior temperature. You get your transmission. This is your tachometer. This is your speed limit sign. This is letting you know who is buckled and who is not buckled. That is the odometer down there. And then also your compass is there. This is your audio stuff at the moment. Then you got your fuel gauge, your fuel range. That is the transfer case status. And then that right there is the transmission status. Right now we are in park. That's kind of about it for the digital gauge cluster. Again, you get the couple different modes like the map, the augmented reality, etc. I already went over that. And then on the head-up display system, right now it's displaying the digital speedometer readout and the speed limit sign. Very useful, and it's right in my field of view. It's in the perfect spot. Now, I love the gauge display that you now get with the Escalade. It looks fantastic. It's also very usable and very intuitive. So Moving into the infotainment part of the screen, this is a 16.9-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. The screen not only is touchscreen, but you can also use this dial down here and these shortcut buttons to navigate throughout the screen. So on the left-hand side of the screen, if you want to use the touchscreen, you have your different shortcut buttons to shortcut you into your home screen, audio stuff, navigation stuff, phone stuff, or your vehicle information stuff. This is the home screen. You can see all of these different things. This has active park assist, so basically this vehicle will parallel or perpendicular park you in a parking spot. All you got to do is modulate the brake pedal. So then you get all of these things. Park assist, if you click that, that is going to turn the beep beep beeps for your parking sensors on or off. Swiping into the next page, you get all of these different things. Let's say you got kids and your kids annoy you on road trips. Well, let's say your kids have iPads. You can bring your kids in this vehicle with their iPads and you can connect their iPads directly to the Escalade's hotspot. So this is basically a rolling Wi-Fi hotspot, which is awesome. You can also pop up your rear climate control stuff. You get all of these different things here. And if you swipe all the way over to the right, you got your OnStar stuff. You can pop up your 360-degree view camera system. You got a bunch of different zones there as well. Not going to go throughout that. Then you got your XM stuff, video recorder. You can go into your ambient lighting stuff. You can adjust what color you want the ambient lighting system to be. I like the blue. Right now, the blue is on. And basically, it's showing you where the ambient lighting illuminates from. It looks pretty cool. And My Cadillac, you can set service appointments. Then down here, it's letting you know the signal of the Wi-Fi hotspot, the ambient exterior temperature, and the current time. And then this piece, like right here, is basically going to let you know like your check engine light, ABS light. Here are all of the different lights you don't want to see. Anyways, wood grain trim. Coming down a little bit more, you get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. That's 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is there. And this is what the climate control stack looks like. It is the perfect mix of screen to physical control. So you get the physical controls here, standard tri-zone climate control system. This is fantastic. Cadillac does a great job at mixing the touchscreen stuff with the analog controls. I absolutely love it. Cadillac, you're doing a great job. And then here you got your auto hold function. Basically the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system with that button. If you wanted to go forward again, you just hit the accelerator. This is to turn your automatic stop start system on or off, and this is going to turn the lane keeping system on or off. Then you got your gear shift selector here. Coming a little bit more, I love this system. This is absolutely fantastic the way that it works. You know, here are basically your shortcuts into your audio stuff, your phone stuff, navigation stuff, back button, home button, vehicle information button, and then this is going to bring you in between your different things here on your infotainment system. Makes it very easy. You can either use the touchscreen or you can use these physical controls down here. And literally, the volume control knob is in the perfect spot. So love the way that this works. Over here, you get a USB-A port, a USB-C port, a spot you could set your key fob. Then you get 2 cup holders, a wireless charging pad. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, one of the bigger phones on the market, and it fits in the wireless charging pad. And basically, when your phone is in the wireless charging pad, if you see the phone shortcut button, now you get a green lightning bolt. That is letting you know that the phone is charging in the wireless charging pad. And then last but not least, you also get a hazard button right here and wood grain trim. If you don't want to see any of this stuff, you can close that back off and then you get that fancy wood grain trim, or you can leave it open. But you get a leather wrapped armrest here. You get the Escalade nameplate, and if you open up your armrest, you get a USB-A port, a USB-C port, a 12-volt power outlet, a little bit of storage space. You can take this divider out if you wanted to, and I would say, you know, with that divider out, with this thing closed, you probably get about a foot of depth down in there, followed by probably 8 inches this way. So good amount of storage space down in there, and you also get a light right there. That is it for what we got going on down here. And then on the driver's side over here, you get some storage space. You could set your phone down in there or something like that. You get the same thing on the passenger side, except on the passenger side you also get a 12-volt power outlet. Now you also get a lockable lower glove box with quite a bit of storage space, and the glove box is also illuminating. You get the same controls on that side, minus all the controls you get as a driver. I love the way that these Escalade seats look. I love the headrest speakers. I think that is awesome. And then if you come up a little bit more, you get the digital rear view mirror as standard. Let's say you really like the spec of this thing, you don't like the digital rear view mirror. Well, if you push that forward, now this is just going to behave like an auto dimming rear view mirror. However, I really like the digital rear view mirror because it rids you of your blind spots. You also get quite a bit of adjustability adjustability with the digital rearview mirror. So if you click this button right here, you can adjust the brightness or the dimness of the digital rearview mirror. You can zoom out, you can zoom in, you get 3 levels of adjustability with the zoom. Then you can also bring it down, you can bring it back up. I think you get about 7 levels of up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 6. I think 7 levels of adjustability with the digital rear view mirror. And that's kind of about it. But love the adjustability, and I love how it rids you of your blind spot in addition to the blind spot monitoring. And then up top here, you have your OnStar stuff. It's going to let you know if the passenger airbag is on or off. Both of your reading lights are LED. As standard with this thing, you get a panoramic sunroof. So if you click this middle button, that is going to open up the panoramic sunroof shade. And while that is opening up, I also want to explain that the sunroof is sliding and it is also tilting. So if you push up on that, the sunroof will tilt. If you push up on that, the sunroof will open up all the way. You can also click this sunroof button one more time. Actually, no, I guess it does go all the way back. So never mind what I was just about to say. Sunroof opens up way open. And then here's a view of what the sunroof looks like from the exterior's perspective as well. It looks pretty cool. And then up top here, you get these 2 buttons. And these buttons, let's say you click these bottom buttons, that is going to drop your 3rd row seats. But if you click the top buttons, that is going to raise the 3rd row seats. This is to open and or close your power liftgate, and you can open it up all the way. You can open up 3/4 of the way, or you can turn the power liftgate off. Don't understand why you would do that. And then this button is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the doors. If you click that on and that amber light illuminates, when you open up the doors, the interior lights will not turn on. You also get a universal garage door opener right here. And then this thing is your motion sensor. So when this is on, and let's say you leave the vehicle with the windows down, basically if somebody reaches into the vehicle, the panic horn is gonna turn on. So that is a cool system. You find that in like Lamborghinis and stuff, so it's cool to see it on an Escalade. And then opening up your visor, you get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights, and then the visor itself slides forwards and backwards depending on the sun. Then the driver gets a no poop handle. The front passenger also gets a no poop handle. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. Now, I will say these seats are super comfortable. If you're driving a Tahoe right now, if you have like a Yukon Denali, I'm gonna tell you right now that the seats in the Escalade are more comfortable than your Suburban. They're more comfortable than your Yukon. So, you know, when you pay for an Escalade, you get the more comfortable seats as well, which is definitely nice. A couple things I wanted to mention: 19 speaker sound system, AKG sound system as standard. You get the adaptive cruise control, heated 2nd row seats, the wireless charging pad, rear view camera, mirror, etc. Now I'm gonna throw the entire window sticker on screen, and you can take a look at everything that you get as standard yourself. You can take a look at whatever you want to. I don't really care, but take a look at the safety and security stuff. That is what I suggest you take a look at. But I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Escalade Premium Luxury is spec'd is $99,415. And while I know that is a ton of money, if you get the Sport Platinum, that is quite a bit more money. And you know, it looks better in my opinion, but you don't really get that much more for the money. So I think this is a great value in the Escalade lineup because you get all the features really, minus a couple like the massaging seats and stuff like that. So I think this is the best value Escalade wise. I personally prefer the Sport though. I like the way it looks better. But I want to show you what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So this is what the rear door panel looks like. You get automatic up and down windows back here, and the window does go all the way down, automatic up as well. Then you get your unlock and your lock functions back here. You get a speaker, a nicely padded armrest, some of that white piping and stitching, storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, another speaker down here. Here are what your captain's chairs look like. You get a center fold down armrest. My only complaint is that the armrest does not like lock into position. It can only be all the way down, which I think is a mistake. This is going to slide the seat forwards or backwards, and then this is going to fold the seat flat. But stepping into these rear seats, up top here, you get a HVAC vent, you get a dome light, a spot you could set your dry cleaning, you get a no poop panel on the B pillar, you get a seat back pocket behind the driver and the front passenger seat. And as mentioned, this is a tri-zone climate control vehicle. This is what the climate control system looks like. You have all the controls for the climate control system. And then as standard, you also get heated outboard 2nd row seats, and you get 3 levels of adjustability with those seats. Popping this open, you get 2 cup holders down in here. You close that back up and you come down a little bit more. You get 2 USB-C ports as well as a household power outlet. And then basically that side looks the exact same as the driver's side. These seats are also very comfortable, and you can also recline these seats if you wanted to as well. Very, very comfortable. Tons of knee and leg room. I don't even need to show you because, you know, there's just tons of it. But stepping into the third row, one thing comparing the Yukon and the Suburban to this, you get a leather wrapped armrest here, and it is padded. You get a USB-C port, a cup holder, some storage space. You get the same stuff on this side as well. And if you click that button or this button, that is basically going to give you easy access to the exterior. All you got to do is pull up on this and boom, very easy to walk out. But even good amount of storage space, or not storage space, leg room back here as well. You get an HVAC vent, you get your LED dome lights, and headroom wise, you got tons of it. Knee room and leg room wise, if you split the difference with the second row passengers, you can still be very comfortable here in the third row as well. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. Nice acceleration. How does it handle? I mean, for a big SUV like it is, it handles very, very well. And that is something that I always mention anytime I do a video with a GM product, is just how good their suspensions are when it comes to comfort, but also handling. Like, they can make a big bleep SUV like this handle so well that it's honestly surprising. Like, you get behind the wheel of this thing and you push it around a couple turns, you're like, how the bleep does it go around turns that well? And honestly, I couldn't tell you. I'm not an engineer. All I know is that I can drive them, and they handle way better than you would expect them to, even without the magnetic ride control / air ride suspension setup. This has the premium smooth ride suspension, and it still rides very, very well. So, I mean, it's just got the perfect mix of comfort, but also, you know, handling in mind. So I don't know how they do it. All I know is that they do a fantastic job when it comes to the handling of these things. And quite frankly, I don't know how they do it, but they do a great job. Now, moving on from there, I've done a couple videos with, you know, Escalades at this point, and most of them, actually all of them, have just been with the Sport and the Sport Platinum. I just did a video last month with the Sport Platinum, so if you want to go check that video out, if you're comparing the Sport to this, go check out that video after you finish watching this one. But the difference between the Sport Platinum and this really is like the semi-aniline leather seats, the massaging seats, and the magnetic ride control, the air ride suspension, the electronic limited slip differential. All of that stuff is what the Sport Platinum gets. This does not get any of that stuff. But honestly, I think this is the best value because the Sport Platinum costs a considerable more amount of money than what this one cost, and this one still has the 360 cam, the adaptive cruise control, the Super Cruise, the head-up display, and it also has the 19-speaker AKG sound system, whereas, you know, the Sport Platinum had the 36-speaker. That sound system is one of the best sounding sound systems that I've heard in a vehicle, but even this one being the 19-speaker, it still sounds really good in my personal opinion, you know. So it also is super comfortable. You know, if you're going to be doing a lot of driving, let's say you have a big family, maybe you got 3 kids, right? And you got $100,000 to spend on an SUV. Well, number one, this is American, so buy American. But number two, it's huge. So let's say you got to take, you know, all 3 of your kids to 3 different sporting events. Let's say one's doing baseball, one's doing soccer, one's doing basketball. Well, obviously basketball, you don't have that much to carry around. Soccer, you know, you got your shin guards, you've got the soccer ball, and you've got whatever else you want to bring. But with baseball, you got your whole baseball bag. So anyways, you can fit your people, and you can also fit the cargo as well. Here's an acceleration. Very good acceleration, like, you know, very, very quick. Now, if you're comparing, let's say, the Escalade to the Navigator is going to have more power, and it's also going to do a little bit better on fuel economy. Unless you get the Duramax, the Duramax is going to do better on fuel economy than the power plant that you get with the Navigator. However, either way, the Navigator is the more powerful power plant. But I personally feel like the Escalade is a better looking SUV than the Navigator. Don't get me wrong, I still think the Navigator is a really good looking SUV, but when it comes down to personal preference, I kind of like the way that the Escalade looks better, especially when you get the Sport Platinum Escalade versus the what's it called, like the black edition. No, it's like the special edition is what they call the Navigator, Black Label Special Edition. I still think the Escalade looks better, and the Escalade's like about $4,000 cheaper than that Navigator. So fully loaded Escalade's cheaper than the fully loaded Navigator. The fully loaded Navigator, though, gives you massaging second row seats. It also gives you the heated and ventilated second row seats. So, you know, it all comes down to what you want, what you like better, and I can't tell you what you like better, you know, because, you know, everybody's got their own opinion on that. But I can tell you this thing rides very comfortably. It's gonna have all, you know, the different options, and, you know, whatever you want to get, you can get. You know, you can get soft closed doors on this, which you don't need. You know, the only option that I would look into getting if I was going to get one of these, because of what I do, I would get the heavy duty trailer tow package. But if you don't do any towing, you can skip that package, and honestly, you're going to be happy with the way that this thing comes as it is. You know, the only option that this one has is the paint color. Other than that, everything that you saw in today's video comes standard with the Premium Luxury. So there's a Navigator right there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's kind of like that nice blue color. And let's take a look at that. But here's an acceleration normal Navigator. One thing I do notice about the 10-speed automatic is that it can be clunky sometimes. And the Navigator also has the 10-speed automatic. You know, the 10-speed was co-developed between GM and Ford. And, you know, it can be clunky sometimes. I mean, you're going to get that awkward shift every now and again. And, you know, I guess that's normal because they all do it. But, you know, I'd rather, you know, not have that clunkiness feeling. You know, it only happens every now and again, but every now and again, when it happens, you're like, well, why the heck did that just happen? Here's a handling test. I cannot believe how flat this thing here. I love the Jeep SRT. Oh my God, I want one. Anyways, it's just a great vehicle. You know, it's going to give you everything that you want. Take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at 50. I mean, as you can tell, it is very, very well insulated from the outside world. I mean, it is a $100,000 vehicle after all, so what do you expect? But man, it's going to give you everything that you want. It looks great. It performs great. It's very comfortable. You can fit your whole family in it. It's practical as heck. You know, you just got to have deep pockets to be able to buy one of these. So if you've got the money, I'm not saying you got to buy one, but I am saying that you should go out and test drive one. Let's say your budget's $100,000. Absolutely put the Escalade on your list of vehicles, whether you're looking at, you know, the BMW X7, the Mercedes GLS, the Lincoln Navigator. Honestly, if you're looking for space, tow capacity, and just very, you know, comfortable for all of your occupants, I would put this towards the top of your list. Honestly, I truly would. You know, if I had a big family and I was looking for an SUV for my big family, I would definitely have the Escalade at the top of my list for sure. You know, it's just what I would have at the top of my list, but your list might be different. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, or if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. That helps me grow, and I would greatly appreciate it. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.